That way you have something to look at while we go ahead and actually talk about what we can expect going into this game. The records for both of these two teams, Third Impact has slightly more maps played, so I can actually have something to compare to. And a 50% win rate on Mirage in their last 4 instances. And two of those wins actually came over, let me go ahead and look, Imperium and RBG. RBG was with a different roster. That was in July, so, it might be a little bit outdated. That is one of those further away results, kind of banking on that 3 month differential. But at least they had a 16-8 win over Imperium, which is one of the bottom line teams in ESEA MDL. So at least when you go ahead and try to compare head to head, it really doesn't seem incredible for either team. But that's just because they haven't been having the best seasons in the world. There's still a lot of potential, I suppose, for them to actually pop off. But at the moment, we just kind of have to wait for everybody to get into the server here. I should also mention X Warriors International have a 16-12 win over Kinship, who also haven't exactly been having the best luck in this season so far. Swisher was actually far and away the best performing player, but he's actually not present. He's playing on, gaming, I believe, now. So that's just kind of the nature of this sort of game, is that occasionally you'll get a lot of really big question marks that you really don't exactly know who to exactly pin with a win. However, Third Impact as a whole, they've had a bit of roster mania. Koala Noob and Fluky at the beginning of the season were added onto the roster, and pretty much only Koala Noob remains. T. Connors had to come back after he was briefly retired from the game. Just going to be finishing out the season with the Third Impact fellas. And also, I believe they have, Eric, Insane, and who else? Let me go ahead and look up. Apologies for missing you. Dangerous. I don't know how I could forget Dangerous. That man is a monster. And then on the side of X Warriors International, we have Hendy, Rise, Walker, Vane, and Armin. I absolutely adore watching the X Warriors roster. They have a lot of crazy parts, and I honestly don't think their results exactly do them a lot of good, because this is a team that I think actually has a decent amount of potential. I honestly feel like they could be one of the top of the line MDL teams with just a little bit more practice and experience. But, until then, we're just going to have to eagerly watch your results here. When it comes to predictions and stuff, I'll probably have to give a slight edge over to X Warriors International. But again, that's just kind of the magic of MDL. That's kind of the magic of NACS. And even though maybe some players call it dead, I think this is actually a very exciting time. You can see a lot of players rise up and be a little bit more exciting to watch here. Now that everyone has joined the server, though, hopefully we actually get started with the game at hand here. As for players to watch here, I definitely recommend keeping an eye on Walker for the X Warriors International side. And for Third Impact, I think Eric or Dangerous will both be definitely worth keeping an eye on as well. So lots of potential, lots of firepower, and lots of skill. Guess now's a good time. I mean, we've pretty much already ran through everything that I wanted to heading into this game. So I guess if you guys have any questions or anything, my name is Ito, and I am competing in the next big caster challenge. So, I appreciate you guys for watching if you are. But hey, I mean, I'm curious on what your thoughts are regarding this match. Who you think is actually going to win it? When you just base it off of records, you kind of do have to give the edge to X Warriors International. But hey. D. Fabiano says, first time watching a CSGO tourney, what should I expect? This is kind of a league format, so, it's not like the person who wins this match are going to be crowned grand champions. It's just a regular season. What should you expect? I'm not sure kind of how new you are to this, but there's a lot that kind of goes into CS here. I'm assuming you know the basics, like, first one to get to 16 rounds wins, and if it's, tied 15-15, then you have a bit of a different scenario in your hands. You go to OT. Wasabi Mayo is asking, is Mirage CT or T-sided in your opinion? Honestly, the game has really been kind of going in a T-sided direction as of late. So it's kind of hard to deny it being a T-sided map, just because, honestly, T-side economy is so good, where I think every map has become definitely a lot more T-biased. I'd say back when the Krieg meta was at its craziest, like I would be saying that, the entire game was T-sided at that point. But, since the Krieg is no longer as crazy, maybe there's a little bit more variety that we can have. And yeah, Mirage, it used to be CT sided, but it's kind of taken a big turn since, the whole economical changes came through. We're finally getting into the game, however. Again, I appreciate you guys tuning in for the Mountain Dew Game Fuel pre-show or whatever. It's not official, but that's just what I'm going to call it here because it is a Mountain Dew League after all. And finally, in on the knife round here, it looks like Third Impact will be able to win this one out. I'm probably going to be starting on the CT side, as you would imagine. And even though I mentioned that, I would argue that this is a T-sided map, just because really the entire meta has been favorable for the T side here. Third Impact will still choose to start out on the counter-terrorist side. Is it lagging? I'm getting 60 FPS. I haven't dropped a single frame. It shouldn't be running into any issues. Sorry about that, man. I don't really know what to tell you if I can get any other notes. Yeah, looks like other people aren't exactly lagging. As we go ahead and watch this first round, however, X-Warriors International are going to be setting up for an A hit here. You do notice that Rise is actually peeking out over towards mid, so expect for him to pincer in late. Overall, this is a pretty standard execute in from X-Warriors International. Not much bloodshed, but that is probably going to be changing in just a second, though, as Eric, Insane, just both combined for a couple of players each. And really, because of that reason alone here, there is not really too much that you can expect out of the remaining couple of players. Sorry, for some reason, game sound was off. I don't know what's going on with my audio setup here, but luckily we've been able to collect ourselves, and I believe Koala Noob has collected a couple of kills off of that. Now, we can actually focus on the game here, and my lord, I think Koala Noob has gotten us off to a good start. Nasty little double from him towards the end of it. We'll make it so Third Impact actually come out on top of that pistol. That second one was a bit of a banger here, but I'm pretty sure X-Warriors International aren't going to be warded off all too much here. They will just kind of half invest a couple of upgraded pistols here. No utility, and honestly, because of that reason alone, I'm not sure if this is going to even work out for even a couple of kills. There is a lot of expectations that need to be met here for X-Warriors International to not get completely slaughtered here. Again, you see Rise is going to be trying to get a little bit of a pincer over towards A, but he's on 8 points of health here. He's kind of on life support. And this is looking pretty wonderful for Third Impact, all things considered. You see that there's actually a double back over towards A, and actually Rise on that note will be able to find the kill over towards A as well. So they'll be second-guessing themselves, X-Warriors International. They've already found themselves in a pretty comfortable position to maybe get a little bit more out of this round. However, you have to think about long-term here. When this is going to be, Scouts, UMPs, FAMASas, and I guess in the case of Koala Noob, that M4, they're not going to be able to stack up very well against the pistols that X-Warriors International are going to be having. Koala Noob is going to be relying a lot on perhaps his teammate Insane to have his back. But Insane is kind of having second thoughts about even committing towards the A-bomb site in general. He will find that first shot, however, and it's going to be a perfect time for Koala Noob to come online. He gets a double and is actually trying to extend for the third, which he finds. 4 kills, perhaps, for him? Maybe not. Rise, who actually took the most damage early on in the round, will now find himself all alone, which Eric will quickly put him out of his misery. Nice little double kill for him. Not all too crazy. That's just kind of how pistols will stack up against rifles. But I think it's really, really good that that double kill went towards Eric, since he's able to stack up a little bit more money and have that UMP kind of pay for itself. 2-0. And we enter a very, very comfortable situation for X-Warriors International now. Krieg, as I actually mentioned previously, it's no longer exactly in the meta, but still might be good to try to squeak out an early kill. A lot of emphasis on mid control. Kind of leaving apartments all by its lonesome for now. And so a very slow default in from X-Warriors International. Bit of a different team than we saw in the last MDL season. Back when they were coached by Vu, I talked with Vu a little bit, and he really did a good job at teaching a lot of the X-Warriors International team, a little bit more of a comfortable way to play their defaults here. So you definitely see it coming into fruition right here against Third Impact. And although the TI squad have been off to a good start on Mirage, this could be a little bit of a change for them. kind of treating this one as a bonus. Take a gander at these positions. There's fights being taken all over the map here. Eventually, there's one player who's pushing it over towards TV room who will lose their life, but that's okay. They still have players in high places. That means that they can easily maybe come out on top of a duel or two. You see an exchange of players over towards Palace, and eventually we'll be stacking up to go over towards B. Hendy will be probably required to find a kill on this rotating counter-terrorist member, and if he doesn't, he's going to need to hold on to any map information that he can possibly get. There's a kill that he needed. That should mark the beginning of the push out from X-Warriors International here. Now T. Connors will be trying to hold the line with a FAMAS. He only finds one, but that's okay. Koala Noob hasn't made a sound, hasn't made a peep or anything so far, and that will allow him to find 2 more kills. And suddenly, in the blink of an eye, Third Impact have turned this round on its head, and it's our men versus the world. 5 seconds left on the clock, and he's going to need to find both kills, but there's no time to get the bomb down. He's going to have to give up on the dream. X-Warriors International, they maybe played that default a little bit too close to the clock, and they will end up actually coming out as the losers at the end of it. Third round goes the way of Third Impact, and a bit of a bonus for the CTs as well. So what a terrible fashion to lose it in. Regardless, X-Warriors International, since they got that one so close, they realize that the CT economy isn't exactly going to look wonderful. They're going to try to punish it, and they will reinvest. It's first to 16, Di Fabiano. And if it gets tied 15-15, then we see overtime. But honestly, I'm not sure if it's going to go that rate. Third Impact, they're coming out of the gate swinging. They've already found a single kill in this next one, too. Sure, it's one of those deagle-cladded members, but still more than enough. TI are getting off to a blistering start at the moment here as they have now found 2 kills. Finally, there will be a response from Vayne, who actually finds a nice little double of his own volition. Armin will be able to steal away one with the AK, but that gives a little bit of hope, I suppose you can say, for X-Warriors International. I'm still not sold. Although that couple of deagle shots did them some good, they haven't left the bomb in their own possession, and they're going to have to retrieve it, give up some map control, and that'll be a perfect opportunity for Eric to strike and find one more response kill. However, you have to keep in mind, though, Third Impact, maybe they're going to start second-guessing themselves for actually committing out over towards A. X-Warriors International, since they haven't actually made their move onto the A bomb site, might have Third Impact guessing and thinking that could be a B fake. You see Third Impact maybe have fell for this accidental bait, hook, line, and sinker. And we'll see the remaining members of Warriors ready to push out over towards Palace, and the quickest person on the rotate will be T. Connors. 2 kits, but no utility. It's going to make it basically all down to hitting your shots. The smoke A. Flash picked up. Great spray through from T. Connors. Won't quite find the kill, but Vayne is going to be wishing he was dead, and he can just go ahead and watch the POV of Armin, who will find that first kill, but isn't expecting the double commit in. T. Connors with a pretty wonderful round right there. That was basically exactly what he needed to do. A solid trade, spamming through onto that default plant position. I mean, really, with that smoke going down, you kind of have to guess that's where it's going to be planted. If you're tossing down the smoke, you're going to be probably wondering, hey, are they actually doing anything off of this? No default plant for you. And so, the CT side will continue to be flawless, but keep in mind, X-Warriors International are still kind of nipping at their heels. There is a lot of potential for the X-Warriors still. Still very, very early days of the T side of Mirage, so you can't exactly hedge your bets too much yet. Vayne just kind of sits in the Molotov, warms up his feet a little bit. It's going to give away a good amount of information over to T. Connors here, but I'm more interested in Insane and this double commit that they have going out over towards mid. Really early fights being taken by the CTs will work out perfectly for them. The aggression is going to be absolutely on point, and Third Impact are looking to make another impact on the game, probably finding 5 rounds now. No reply yet from X-Warriors as they actually lose another player on top of it. What they have going for them so far to possibly give them a chance of winning this round will be that position that Rise currently has. He also has full util, so maybe try to smoke off the cross or something like that, but as his teammate goes down, there's going to be basically no shot for Rise. He's stuck in a 1-on-5, gets the first kill, but that's all he'll be able to call his own. Dangerous, the only victim of that round for Third Impact. That's a gun that they can easily drop over. This is going to be a really good time for Third Impact to maybe build up a little bit more of an economy. Surprised Dangerous actually didn't seem to go for an MP9. Would have been a really good opportunity maybe to try to close the distance since Warriors aren't going to be buying up. Hindsight's 2020, I suppose. Eric, he will eat a nice little grenade for dinner, and I'll be honest here, I wasn't expecting so many good results out of X-Warriors International on this eco, but of course this is going to be their best bet so far, and not staved off by the Molotov. They'll be looking to extend for a bit more space, and a very quick round already coming underway. They still need to get that bomb down. On that mark, Caster's Curse, it will. Third Impact. It's going to be a pretty tough retake for them, but there's still a lot of opportunities. Thing is, there hasn't exactly been that much apartments control just yet. Walker, he's kind of committed towards a fight with the Deagle. Insane is already looking to back out here, but this is going to be a perfect opportunity for Third Impact to find a couple of exits. Good shots by them to do so. Siphoning them out over towards mid. And off the back of an eco, I'll be damned. That's how X-Warriors International will get their first round. It's not something that I think is going to be fully, convincing and part of their default for the beginning of every round, but sometimes just a change of pace is all you need to find a single round on the board. Score will turn to a 5-1. And Third Impact are starting to reach the bottom of their money reserves, so kind of an important round for them to close up. Initial fight's being taken towards mid. Armin won't exactly be leading the charge, but he will be allowing his teammates to take control of mid behind him. Insane, just tossing a grenade out. Won't find any early damage, but it's the right idea. Oh, that's actually an insane shot too. Truly living up to his name. That's a wonderful way to start things out here, and I'll be damned. With their backs against the wall, on the verge of having their economy broken, Third Impact still remain aggressive and find those first 2 picks. Wasabi said it. I mean, economy reset and TI did not see the B rush coming, but when it comes to actually dealing with the rifled players, Third Impact, they seem to have a right read on all the different aggressive maneuvers that X-Warriors want to go for. Who knew that apparently the key to winning rounds is going to be rushing B no stop? Maybe the Russians really do know how to play CS, man. Walker. Now he has basically everything to do it for. Stuck in a 1-on-5. He does get a nice little tag on Koala Noob, sure, but I can't even begin to get excited until I see something a little bit more. Still plenty of time, though, for X-Warriors International to come online. Again, still early days when you look at the big picture of Mirage. This is a team that is very, very capable and has delivered a lot more in the MDL season than Third Impact has so far, but at the moment, it is looking crazy one-sided. Might be seeing a Brazilian scoreline on our hands. Not to be warded off, however. Yo, what's up, Willie? How you doing, man? It's weird to see you outside of the Rectify stream. Full A execute will be in the works. And interesting to note that Third Impact have actually decided to stack over towards B, so maybe they're expecting another change of pace and bringing it back over towards B. However, not at all what the Warriors are going for here. This is a really strong setup for their execute, but they're dealing with it pretty fine so far. At the moment, they just have a Molotov out here. Walker will actually punish that jump peek in from Insane. We haven't actually begun the execute just yet here. Dangerous going down will mark the actual beginning of it. And it's actually looking really damn convincing. As soon as Warriors International, they get those smokes out, they can win those fights convincingly. Third Impact basically have to rescind control and wait to fight on their own terms here. Rise, important position that he at least finds 1 kill out of it here. Third Impact will be tossing flashbangs. All those bangers will come through. And there it is, Rise. He's done his job. Now he needs to hold the line and probably not give up his life, but as soon as he does, Third Impact will leap upon that opportunity to find a couple of more kills, and Eric will come down to a 1v1, of which Hendy will win in a very convincing fashion. And that is their way to find a second round. It's not the best in the world, but it's more than enough to grant them the victory and officially break the eco of the CT side. Hey, Willie, I appreciate you watching my stream, though, man. Means a lot. Third impacts, again, that's just kind of the CT economy for you right there. You lose just a couple of rounds and suddenly you're in a very, very bad place. The Warriors realize that, though, and although they're taking some pretty scary fights over towards A, they realize that it's a pretty high chance that they're going to be stacking. Although B will be the stack of choice, there still will be 1 or 2 players committed over towards A. Warriors will flood it, take over the site, and basically call this round theirs. They had to hedge a lot of their bets on finding that early kill, and since they haven't, good luck getting much of anything. Rise, looking to go hunting with the Galil. Hoping to make that thing pay for itself. Not all too exciting of a round, however. Third impact just kind of had the wrong idea on where to gamble. It was a bit of a 50-50, wasn't it? I'm wondering if third impact, I mean, they've had pretty good luck on their mid pushes so far. Maybe it would be in their best interest to go ahead and try going for that somewhere down the line. Koala Noob. He's hit some pretty wonderful shots so far. He's 12-4. And it's not hard to see why. Alright, well, on that note, third impact, at least they no longer have to save. They can get maybe an AUG or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. Thing is, they haven't really been all too hell-bent on trying to hold down mid. There's been a couple of rounds, again, where Insane has been, peeking and pushing up mid through connector. T. Connors is actually going to be trying to aggress this time around, and he gets 2 off the back of that push up towards Cat. Excuse me, extremely quick fights being taken. I was trying to say excruciatingly. That's a very tough word to say when you've been talking for like 3 hours now, I have to say. Learning the hard way. But third impact, at least regardless, won't try to slip on their tongue like I did. And actually have a pretty good shot of winning this round here. Thing is, from third impact, a lot of that body flinging over towards mid actually did them a lot of good. Ended up throwing off the default of Warriors International, and they got a little bit hasty in actually checking towards places like Under Palace. And so, maybe X-Warriors International can't exactly make this round as free as they were hoping. The full wraparound into CT, this is kind of ridiculous. I like the idea of it, but they might be kind of outthinking themselves, because third impacts might be meeting them halfway. Yeah, okay. Smart play. X-Warriors International probably realize that they shouldn't try to overthink this. They'll eventually settle down towards the A-bomb site. And TI, they're going to go for this. They don't exactly have a terrible reason not to. They have a good amount of utility to call their own here, alongside with that kit, that air cast. Skirmishes will be taken over towards CT spawn, and Armin and Hendy will be able to close this out here. Not the most exciting of fights here. Third impact didn't seem to want to shoot back. That is a very, very important round for Warriors to put together here. Once more, they have broken the CT economy, and they're going to be having to feel those results in a very, very harsh fashion. Couple of upgrade pistols, Koala Noob with that FAMAS, so a half buy. Third impact haven't exactly been wanting to spice up some of the pacing. You're not seeing any more of those aggressive plays over towards mid. You saw it last round actually with rifles, I suppose, but I would like to see a similar attempt with maybe a couple of those pistols. Double back into Palace like they did previously. They just kind of got unlucky the first time they did it. Holding on to mid control, X-Warriors International will basically have free reign over a very, very vital part of the map. And this artery can be used to feed its way into B. Not so much A, especially since Rise might get picked off by Dangerous. Ooh. They may just stay alive. They're okay. And the Warriors will choose to consolidate. Being careful with their smokes here. Thing is, third impact, they're kind of ready for this. They should be able to deal with a couple of players on site here. There is a duel taking place over towards T-spawn, but I'm not all too interested in that. I'm more interested in seeing what TI can do with these Deagles that they have on hand. Indeed, they will come out on top of now 2 duels, filling the kill feed with a little bit more blue than you might expect for a round like this. And Third Impact now look to try to finish up the round if they so possibly can, but Walker as well as Vayne won't take that one sitting down rather. They'll stand up and make a little bit more of a noise. And we'll eventually finish this up here. Don't get the bomb down, but that's okay. They still have a decent amount of money to call their own here. Their wallets are full. They are packed with money. Now, AWP, honestly, it feels like I don't see it all too much on the T side of Mirage in recent history, but it's done Walker a lot of good. Some vital kills, excuse me. Overall, has been a really solid player for X-Warriors International so far. A bit of a shaky spray onto Insane, but it's a kill regardless. And Third Impact haven't even decided to show up for this next rifle round here. Already losing 2 players, and we're barely 20 seconds into this mess. And this is exactly why I felt you should never count out X-Warriors International. They definitely have the skill. They just kind of need to get a solid read on how TI like to play their CTs. And suddenly things change for the better. Or I suppose if you're a fan of TI, change for the worse. Dangerous, he is basically known for holding under Palace basically the entire round. And for some reason, they still don't decide to check under there. He's going to be able to find 2 kills, and suddenly we're back into a 3 versus 3 in a very winnable one at that. Luckily, Armin will be able to find a kill elsewhere on the map here. Dangerous is kind of going to burn alive. He walks right back into the molly. And okay, never mind. Maybe, maybe they weren't expecting that Molotov to last so long. Quality up against 3 here. Is just going to try to hold on to the AWP since he knows that money is going to be dismal for his team heading into number 13. But, you know, good luck actually getting away with that, man. I have to say. Has a chance right there to at least take out Walker. Or Armin, excuse me. But I believe Walker would have approached him behind anyway, so. Okay, Sarah. Been very one-sided performances from both sides of the table, I have to say. You haven't exactly seen, you know, insane run of form. We haven't seen, like, incredible executes come through or anything like that from X-Warriors International. It's just been kind of solid default plays off the bat here. Really nice round conversions towards the end of it. Although they struggled to deal with Dangerous towards the beginning of it. Haven't really had all too much struggles. Auto Director, for some reason, really wants to keep an eye on the guy over towards ramp, even though there's like 3 kills happening over towards mid. Interesting. I don't feel like we missed all too much, however. That's just what we call a massacre. I think maybe Auto Director was just kind of trying to censor me because you don't want to show gore on stream. I don't know. Something like that. Interesting change of pace, however, from Third Impact is that you're going to see Insane actually picking up the AWP. First time we've seen this from the TI side here, and there you are. Kind of what I was expecting and hoping to see out of the CT side. A little bit more aggression being spotted out. Over towards mid in particular, but really elsewhere on the map as well. You see those full rotations being brought out over towards A, and they've completely rescinded A control. Take a look at this radar. It is insanely biased over towards A. X-Warriors International, there's still so much time left on the clock. Are they exactly sure they want to go ahead and try to push out this early on? Apparently it's going to work out for them in a relatively decent degree. They're winning these fights relatively well, and Armin will eventually break through the ice, break the mold, and make it into 2v3 for them to try to overcome. Insane now tries going for a nice little crazy play of his own, but he's not finding any luck with it so far. Still trying to toss in a couple of shots, but no luck. And no harm, no foul done. I guess X-Warriors International, they will commit to the fight. It's incredibly scary that they even decide to go for something like that when there's still so much time to burn off, but just by the sheer will alone, they will win out. It's 6-8 in favor of the former Warriors International squad. And again, remember that they were 6-1 at some point, you know? So I can feel relatively confident in saying that X-Warriors International can probably clean this up heading into the second half. It's looking awfully likely that they get 9 rounds too. Unless we see something absolutely absurd. Dangerous still kind of being the bastion of holding by under Palace. Stays alive for a lot longer than I think anyone would have expected. Needs to wait for rotations, insane. These are incredibly risky fights to take. And high risk, low reward. Not really anything going the way of Third Impact in these recent couple of rounds here. They'll eventually storm over the site, winning every single fight on their way to doing it. And QualNoob will have to pull off probably the most insane play we've seen this entire MDL season. Might have a freebie onto Hendy. Oh, come on now. There you have it. Who won that first one and the second, sure, but X-Warriors International, as you can imagine, are going to be stacking up around the bomb. They'll be tossing in a little bit of shrapnel, and I'll be damned here. QualNoob has actually made that relatively convincing. He's padding his stats a little bit more, continuing to hit some bangers. But it won't be nearly enough to finish up the round here. 6-9 in favor of the X-Warriors International squad. And yeah, as you pointed out, Flick, it was 6-1 at one point in favor of TI. They have completely went silent in the second half of play here, and I'm hoping now that they'll be able to control the pace a little bit more here. TI, it seems that they thrive in a lot of those aggressive situations, and I'm really hoping we see it actually come into fruition. Because if not, I could definitely see X-Warriors International running away with this one. Pistol, I wouldn't say is exactly the most vital thing in the world here, but it would definitely help if TI could get at least this round under their belts as well. Majority stacking over towards B here. This is a counterplay. I know TI in a lot of their previous Mirage games, they have actually expected to, or have actually been expected, excuse me, to rush B. But hey, full on A exec. I like it. Crazy shot from Vayne will start us off on a very, very good note. And if that isn't the perfect summary of how this game has been going for X-Warriors International in recent times, I don't know what is. Walker will go ahead and lead the charge for the Warriors as they look to retake the site here. Still 2 flashbangs remain for TI, and they're looking for some early picks here. QualNoob, he's going to be on the quick flank here. Keep an eye on that here, and I believe actually Hendy is doing exactly that. So he has it all taken care of here. Walker gets the first one on this retake here. Still, a kit remains on Armin. He needs to get on that bomb sooner rather than later. And I think, really, at this point, they can just swarm the bomb. What is going on? This is a complete massacre. How are X-Warriors International actually losing that? That is disgusting. They had no business losing that. Oh, my lord. The fumble is unbelievable. They had that initial kill, too. That was a 5v3 that somehow TI managed to convert. And because of that, we're probably going to be seeing an even scoreline on our hands here. X-Warriors International, they have some second thoughts about what they want to force and who's going to be picking up the guns, but they will actually have that Scout and MP9 come online. That was not a convincing pistol at all. That is not how Third Impact should be getting the rounds here, but, you know, well played by them. They sprayed through the smoke, took care of those diffusers. But Christ, I can't exactly say that's world-class Counter-Strike. Still way better than I'll ever be at this game, however, so respect to them for that. Slight B bias. Surprisingly, Third Impact have decided to completely give up control of mid. Feels like a bit of a risky maneuver, but perhaps they're expecting a stack. Still trying to sniff out some information if they can. Dangerous. Actually spotting the head here will be huge. Good Molotov out as well. Does miss the angle that would have caught out Rise. And that will prompt a couple of more rotations over from X-Warriors International. But they're having second thoughts about doing it. So yeah, QualNoob has made a little bit of noise over towards A ramp. That's pretty much going to make it so Walker can't exactly fully commit to B. I have to say, although Third Impact aren't winning their fights, as is the case with Armin, they at least have a really solid foundation to work off of here. QualNoob finding that kill surely should secure the deal Although Hendy is making a pretty notable argument for himself. He's dropped the bomb, and now you see the X-Warriors try to swarm around it if they so possibly can, but they're running into it. There's not much time left on the clock. Third Impact, they need to start moving quickly here. They've had their fun. They've played this round way too slow. Sure, they'll get the bomb down. I'm not exactly scared for that, but that was, again, maybe not the cleanest round in the world. Still only two guns given up at the end of the day. It's not superstar level Counter-Strike, but it's more than enough to earn Third Impact the round. Slow and steady wins the race, right? I'm a little bit concerned once we actually see guns. This isn't going to be that case, as you see. Pistols. How do TI choose to go ahead and switch up the formula this time, though? Okay. Quick push in over towards mid. Suddenly everybody is dead. Everybody is getting their just desserts as well. Ryans will have an AK drop upon his head. And a gift from above will be basically something that he's just going to save. I don't think there's any reason that he should go for this. Try to search for another exit. Leave that all up to Vayne to try to go massive. And if he can't, then, well, at least he'll have an M4 next round. Dangerous, as you might imagine, will be trying to chase down this kill with every last ounce of strength that he can. With a MAC-10, I mean, you basically get your money's worth within 1 or 2 kills. In this case, there's no kill whatsoever. Can't believe that. At least we now know where Ryans is playing, so we have that going for us. Drawing a little smiley face, because that's the most exciting thing that's been happening all game. Not all game, but this round for sure. It's actually kind of a miracle that Ryans is able to hold on to that AK for so long. Interesting also, I should mention, is that Insane, he's trying to pick up the AK towards the end of it, but I think it fell in the bushes. Or are those bushes? Let me go ahead and check. Oh, those are not bushes. Those are potted plants. Okay, they fell into the potted plants. I'm a procaster, by the way. Standard default out. X-Warriors International giving a little bit more love over towards mid here, as you see Walker will now inherit the throne over towards mid, as Insane, who was a masterclass of pushing it last time around, has this time been dispatched almost immediately. There's a smoke to try to counter. Hendy will be trying to peek from the window to see if he can squeak out another kill. Not going to be the case, but that's okay. Third Impact, they can go ahead and sit upon this newfound map control that they've had, having successfully evicted Walker from the premises. I wasn't on Walker's POV there, but I'm not quite sure how he found that kill. A banger, surely. Walker gets nothing but bangers, man. He's such a crazy player. Eventually, they'll just try to crouch push in over towards B. They're going to meet a lot of hesitation while actually doing it. Somehow Eric is able to get out a kill from it, but pretty sure that's all they're going to be able to find. One more for T-Connors, and the round is over. X-Warriors International, they finally get on to double digits, but it takes a really good amount of time before it even gets to that point. TI are fighting tooth and nail just to stay alive in the game. And thing is, although X-Warriors International, they won that first gun round, the money is still kind of there for TI. T-Connors for sure can drop over, or can buy an AK, excuse me. Dangerous will be picking up the Galil meanwhile. Insane probably also going to be going for a Galil. Don't have enough util for a full exec. This is still very, very scary times. X-Warriors International, again, they have to keep on remembering that economy is never certain when you're a counter-terrorist. So you'll have to take basically every punch that you can and hope that you can just kind of sustain yourself through it. Regardless, into the next round we will go. Walker hopefully can get a first frag right off the bat, but no luck. They've at least been able to sniff out some mid control. Where is your International, excuse me. Pushing off of that though, TI will choose this to go ahead and consolidate over towards A, immediately going for the execute. This is, again, extremely early to usually call for a full exec right off the bat here. Usually you want to try to squeak out a pick if you still possibly can, but no, they're just going to go for it straight off the bat here. They get the C4 down, but in a disadvantageous situation. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that. It just, maybe it feels a little bit weird that TI are going for execs 20 seconds into a round here. It just feels very different than most MDL teams that we see. But this change of pace is really not doing them that much good. X-Warriors International still have lots of util to call their own. They're not winning all too many of their fights. Koala Noob, however, is. He's on 3 kills. How has he actually made this a little bit more possible? He's won the round! Single-handedly! Koala Noob, he has been a superstar for Third Impact this entire game, but this was just something next level. 25 kills, and the second highest is 13. He's nearly double. That was just a completely unexpected round, too. I mean, TI had absolutely zero business winning that. That was not a very wonderful start from them. You can't keep relying on crazy plays like that, but look, if Koala Noob can keep up this kind of performance, maybe TI can actually win this one out. A 5v3 given up. I don't know how to feel about that one, man. I mean, X-Warriors International, it sucks to lose it in that fashion. But there's only so much you can do when a player like Koala Noob is just popping off. That's just unreal to me. Because that's not always the most sustainable way to win your round. I mean, I'll say that any day of the week, but he's been kind of pulling up that sort of performance for the entire game. He's 25-12 at the moment. This game is even. A pleasant surprise, to be sure. And Third Impact will be rewarded handsomely because of it here. Up against a couple of pistols. Nothing more than that. Should be seeing a massacre. Although Hendy has actually been a little bit insane just to start this out in the fashion that it has. Searching for number 2. Good contact play. X-Warriors International, don't tell me you're going to somehow get away with this one too. Please, I'm not sure if my heart can take it. Okay, who else but Koala Noob? He'll go ahead and take care of us, no problem. Now up to 26 kills, and with that, he's officially more than double the rest of any of his teammates. He's single-handedly making this possible for TI, and he could actually find another one right here. Walker, he's on point with the... I mean, he has a right idea on where Koala will be, but the P250 just kind of pales in comparison to the AK, doesn't it? This is a really difficult position for TI to be in. They realize their best option is just to kind of go through apartments, but they need to make sure to clear every single angle on their way to doing it. That Molotov will probably have to go out over towards Balcon. They might have to jump out a window or something. There's a molly in. Rise, keep an eye on him here. He could easily stop that plant. They've cleared out the player over towards Catwalk here, but Rise still remains. And wait, yeah, Koala Noob has actually just walked right past him. What is going on? This is a bit of a... Okay, sure, we'll take it. Another 4K from Koala Noob. On for 30. Right? Yeah, Brett, that's what I was thinking as well. It's like, I mean, I think he was just trying to be patient, and I don't know. That's kind of ridiculous. That was an eco, though. I'm not going to go ahead and pretend to be the backseat gamer. Oh, wait, that's important. They actually missed their window smoke here. Okay, never mind. They didn't. Were they going for... Wait a second. I want to check this. I want to make sure I do my homework here. Wait, what? Where did that first smoke land? Am I blind? Was that a connector smoke that just made noise over towards window? Whatever. Doesn't matter. TI are going out in their normal default as per usual. And X-Warriors International, they seem perfectly content on not taking any fights early on. Henty, although he has a really strong position over towards connector, probably is going to have to give up control on it very, very soon here. This is a very exploitable position by pretty much any decent flashbang in. And since TI have been kind of on point with their peaks as of recent, I'm sure that they're not going to give up that. Another smoke will come through. And eventually, finishing up over towards A. I love this though. You see how Insane has actually set up Koala Noob for success. Insane, being the IGL for third impact, has decided to go ahead and keep the player ready to pincer in late over towards Connector. And Wasabi, I'm not going to deny it. I think this is a make or break round. Third impact. In particular, Koala Noob has such a massive undertaking. The dam will eventually break, however. 20 seconds left on the clock here, but I want to keep an eye on what's going on the Koala Noob camp here. He needs to make a move soon. Dangerous has basically only found the only kill for TI so far. And although they will get it down into even numbers, they need to get that bomb down sooner rather than later if they so can possibly help it. Not much util remains on either side of the equation. And it's going to be, again, up to Koala Noob to go huge here. But he looks away at the wrong time, and that will be the perfect time for Rise to peek out, find that kill onto the superstar Koala Noob. Now T. Connors will have to go ahead and pull up another amazing performance here. He's rolling back the years, and we're back into FPL. Again, it's just like it's 2016 all over again. T. Connors, he pulls off another incredible play. 1v2 in X Warriors International. They're on the verge of losing this game to TI. Their money is in shambles. They have some upgrade pistols. They have the MP9. But T. Connors, man, I'm not going to even try to deny it, man. I'm a big fan of this guy. He doesn't always have the craziest game, but just like the fact that I've seen him for so long, this makes it always so much fun to watch. And actually kind of do his magic here. Incredible patience in that 1v2. And TI, I'll be damned. They actually might get away with this one here. This is a bit of a freebie, a bonus round. But X Warriors International, this was their game to lose. Sure, it was 6-9 and you know, etc., but TI are looking like a completely different team as of recent. Still some fumbles on their XXO. I'm not going to try to take back what I was saying. And no, that's a dead body. You made up for it at least, but Wasabi saying T-sided confirmed. And look, man, that's what I'm saying. This game has become a lot more T-sided in recent history. They can just constantly punish that eco. And on top of that, third impacts, although they've had some messy XX, you know, I'm not going to try to deny that. They have looked really, really solid, at least in these past couple. They're able to convert in, you know, those 2v4s somehow into a win. I don't understand how. That is just remarkable. But it's not over yet here. Let's not go ahead and try to fool ourselves into thinking X Warriors International, they're out of it completely. I said the same thing when I was 6-1, and they brought it back to this point at least. A double AWP being brought out. Warriors, they haven't given up hope yet, especially since Henty has such an incredible position towards the top of mid. Basically means that they have to siphon themselves out over towards A. And X Warriors International, they're going to be at least somewhat ready for the challenge. They're losing these fights. Of course, when you're dying to Koala Noob, I don't think that's exactly a thing to be ashamed by. He's on to 33 kills. He has made this round, this game, possible for third impact here. The new pickup has been an absolute superstar. But it, again, is not over yet here. Rise is going to be trying to entry in. Hendy will get the trade, but a 1v2 isn't impossible for Hendy to overcome. Tosses the smoke down onto the bomb. And he's looking for a kill to try to go ahead and boost himself into a better situation, but it won't come at any point. 34 kills. What in the hell does Koala Noob eat for breakfast, man? What is this guy's regimen? I hate, you know, saying the word superstar. I know you pointed it out, Wasabi, but it's just like, it's kind of undeniable at this point here. This is not really something that we've seen out of TI for this entire season. If anybody has been impressing me, it's usually been Eric. Occasionally even Dangerous. He's had a couple of unfortunate games, but right now, I mean, it's this Koala Noob. His impact is undeniable. And Nico, I should mention as well for X Warriors. Pistols on the board. Can't exactly be all too ashamed. Oh my lord. Oh, am I really going to caster curse this? This is the second time now. I said Dangerous and now I said Koala Noob. Oh, am I going to say Armin now and suddenly he will die? Do I have the right idea on this, man? Okay, never mind. He actually does get the kill on the T-Connors. At least I have that going for me, right? Bomb is still not down for TI. They might give up this one to a couple of pistols. But there still remains a chance for TI to squeak this one out here. That's an incredible kill to find. And now the push will begin. Insane dancing around the boxes will find that first kill. Walker looking for a trade. Can't find the opportunity. But he has an AK in his hand. Why is he not using the AK? Well, he finally decides to pull it out. I'll get you arrested in some states, but in here, that's just how you play good Counter-Strike. 10-15. And Third Impact, they are hairs away now from being able to pull off the upset against X-Warriors International. Not the expected result whatsoever, as you can imagine. I'm still kind of trying to process this myself, but nothing has been working at all for X-Warriors International. When that eco was probably one of their best bets so far, that's how you know you're in for a bad time. Double AWP. Wasabi, did TI win this or did XW lose this? Man, I'm definitely saying Third Impact won this. Even despite Koala Noob having such an insane performance, they've actually looked really, really solid on their defaults, and I'm enjoying how they're actually playing, like genuinely enjoying. And keep in mind, X-Warriors International, towards the end of that first half, they were winning all of their fights. And that's been completely flipped on its head, as you saw T-Connors getting that initial one. At least Vayne will be able to pull one back into his team's favor, but we're still on even footing. Until Walker gets involved, apparently. Christ, what a shot that was. And for the first time in a while, TI will be on the back foot. Caster's curse once more. T-Connors gets it again. Very slow round adopted by TI. What are they looking for right now? I think they're kind of relying on Koala Noob with this info here. You see bombs being slowly brought out of TV room. Probably going to be a connector push in while Koala Noob just tries to secure CT. This is brilliant. They haven't cleared out Palace, but basically everything else is free game for Koala Noob. And so now they need to try to push in through connector here. Basically the only one who can spoil the fun will be Vayne. So keep an eye on Vayne as well as Koala Noob here. There's a kill in. Now Vayne, he needs to make the move here, but he doesn't. That could have been his chance to finish up the game here. Now bomb will go down with only 5 seconds remaining, and that should be GG. It's Armin versus 3. He nearly loses the fight to Koala Noob, but he'll stay alive. He's on life support, however. 35 points of health. He's not exactly doing wonderful himself here, and I'm pretty sure TI have this one in the bag. That HE that he has in his hand will have to be massive, and I don't think there's a chance in hell that he gets away with it. Smoke is out, and I'll prompt a couple of rotations in, but Third Impact, they will leap upon the opportunity, and they will win the game in a brilliant fashion. How in the world do they get away with that? That is such a pleasant surprise, man. What in the world? I called it too early, man. I'm not even going to try to mince words here. I called that incredibly too early. I was pleasantly surprised. They actually did it. Yo, Wasabi, thank you for watching, my friend. I can't believe Third Impact won that. After some of the starts that they got. I mean, that's crazy. I don't really have any words for that other than if you enjoyed this, please feel free to follow me on my Twitch or my Twitter. Both are at ItoKP. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to host somebody. I really appreciate you guys watching. Again, my name was Ito. This is for the next big caster challenge, so it was awesome to do an MDL game like this. Third Impact, they delivered a hell of a lot. It's going to go ahead and do it for me. I'm actually going to go ahead and toss it over to Raid. That way you guys have someone to watch after me. Otherwise, have a good one.